All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day or had a wonderful day. If you're chilling in the nighttime, thank you for clicking on this video. We've got a very awesome video for y'all today. We're talking about a brand new product to the store here, something that we're trying to get into, so we might need some help. Comment down below what your favorite BFS setup is, or if you've got some specific lures that you want us to get in, because we're talking about the Curado BFS today. Check it out. It's going to be a little bit of an unboxing here. We're also going to be kind of talking about the different lures we have here at Lake Pro Tackle, as well as some of the rods right here. Now, before we get into it, guys, I'm going to run down some stats on the Curado BFS. You know, the BFS platform is something that I really enjoy. Someone that throws spinning rods quite a bit, I really think that the BFS, that's kind of where everything's headed. You know, fishing pressure is getting a lot tougher. The lakes are seeing forward-facing sonar a lot. The fish are moving around everywhere, and I'm sure no matter where you are in the country, if you're on a public body of water, fishing is just getting tougher and tougher and tougher. So I've been using a spinning rod quite a bit, but I do enjoy throwing my bait casters, and that is where the Curado BFS will come in. So, you know, there are more BFS reels out there, typically for more expensive prices. You know, Shimano has their Curado BFS. They also have a Calcutta Conquest BFS that isn't available in America yet here, but we also have quite a few new things coming in. We're gonna try to get a whole line of rods for y'all, whole line of megabass lures for y'all as well. We do have a good selection of BFS type lures already from megabass, and we're looking to get some more in just in general, and I think that's going to be super exciting for y'all. Now you can throw your little Rebel, little tiny crankbaits and stuff, and definitely check all that cool stuff out, lakeprotackle.com. We're going to give you updates on when everything comes in, as soon as it comes in, on the Facebook and Instagram at Lake Pro Tackle. So let's go ahead and break down this reel here. You know, kicking it off, it is a XG reel, so that means it's an 8-speed gear ratio. So Curado BFS XG, so 8.2 to 1 gear ratio. So for each turn of the handle, you're getting 8.2 rotations out of it. It's gonna have 8 pounds of drag. So, you know, this is not your traditional Shimano reel where it has 13 pounds of drag. You know, your traditional Abu reels have like 24 pounds of drag. This is a BFS reel meant for light line, light rods. So that means you're gonna have a little bit less drag on it. So we'll get into some of the actual reel specifics in a little bit later, but we're gonna keep rolling with this. So the reel itself weighs 6.2 ounces. So, you know, looking at it, you're like, okay, this throws light lures. It's gonna be able to throw just about anything I want. So that is true. However, when I first felt this reel, I thought it was gonna be a whole lot lighter, but you know, typically what happens is with these kinds of reels is the reel itself stays pretty much the same. The main thing they change is the spool and the bearings surrounding that spool. So, you know, the spool is a very, very shallow spool, guys. Super shallow. It's not going to hold a ton of line. It's going to hold around 50 yards of 8-pound fluorocarbon. And that's all you're gonna get out of it because you're not casting these super, super light lures extremely far. And with the lighter spool, that allows you to cast like 32nd ounce stuff, really, really tiny stuff. So it's a whole lot of fun when you do, and you can pack a whole lot more braid on it. So typically what a lot of people do when it comes to BFS is they throw like 8-pound braid, 10-pound braid, and typically no more than that because you don't need anything bigger than 10-pound braid most of the time. You know, on my spinning setups, when I'm using 10-pound braid, I never break the braid. I'll just break the leader before anything. So that's what a lot of people will do. Or they'll just throw the straight braid because when you get down that small and you use either a marker like a Sharpie or something, if you are using, you know, a flash green or a very bright braid, you know, you can make it look very dark. Depending on your water clarity, it might not matter to those fish. You know, this reel, again, 6.2 ounces. The spool is so much lighter, but the reel is built extremely solid. The thumb bar, crispy, like super crispy, guys. Super smooth as well. Moving on, we got 7+1 bearings in it, and it has a retrieve speed of 32 inches per turn, and that is thanks to that XG rating with the 8.2 to 1 gear ratio. We also have this reel in left-handed for y'all who are left-handed, so you're not being left out. We did get these in. I know a lot of the reels we have typically are in right hand, or we might not have a certain gear ratio in the left hand. We're expanding it. You know, we can't buy everything. We have very limited space here at Lake Pro Tackle. We really appreciate seeing all the orders coming in. So if you're new, guys, use code NEW10, NEW10 at checkout. You'll be able to save 10% off your first order with us online. And we really just appreciate seeing all the orders come in, guys. You know, I see people are watching these videos, but you know, we could really use some help. So if you could share these videos, put something out there. If you talk with your buddies about tackle shops and you want to support a small business, our prices are literally as low as they can go. I think everything in our online store is the same as Tackle Warehouse. We offer free shipping for orders over $50, so we appreciate all the support we can get. And thank you so much. If you have ordered from us, shout out to you. You're awesome. Let's talk a little bit more about this reel here. So the Curado BFS, guys, like I said, the spool's smaller. Everything is built extremely well. It is crispy, that clutch right there. The handle size, I believe, is like an 85 millimeter. It might be a little bit smaller than that, might be an 80, but I don't know for sure. I'll put the exact handle length in here somewhere. This does not use micro module gearing. It uses the regular Hagane gearing, so it's not going to be like your typical Curados. It's going to be almost more like an SLX when it comes to your gearing in here. Now, what is nice about the reel is it's a very small size. So it's like basically a 70 size with a BFS spool and a BFS handle. The drag does click, so when you hold the spool or a fish is taking your line out, it does click as well, and you can hear that there. Of course, the star drag is going to have clicking as well. It is a little bit dulled out compared to some of the other Curados, so it's not as crispy, but you can still hear it very, very well. The tension knob does not click, guys, but it's a very fine tension knob. I think they did a good job with that. And the handles, these are going to be your typical power handles here, not found on the Curado M or K. These are actually going to be more geared towards your typical knobs that are found on spinning reels, like your 2500 sizes. Very, very smooth. I enjoy fishing these. Now the brakes internally here, you're going to get in through a little switch at the front. You're going to flick it open if you can get your finger in there with a reel on, or with a reel or a rod on the reel. Golly, I can't talk. Twist it off, and it's going to kind of just show you the brakes in there. Can't see much. It's a lot different from your standard braking system on a typical Curado, Bantam, Chronarch, whatever you're fishing, guys. But you do have the external dial here that you can change, and it's going to very, very accurately adjust what your braking is. So it does take a little bit of getting used to on this brake here to really get them around. You almost have to use your fingernail to move it around. But you know, I believe it goes from 1 to 5, if I'm not mistaken here. 1 to 6, sorry. 1 to 6 are your typical Shimano settings, 1 to 6-ish, and you're gonna be good there. The thumb bar kind of reminds me of some of the cheaper reels like the Caius or even the SLX, guys, but it is very crispy, like I said. It has good input. The grip on here feels really good as well. And then overall, I think it's just a really beautiful reel. Now, some rods you can match this up on include 2 rods that we currently have, and that is going to be the X-Pride BFS and a 6'8" light, and then also a Curado BFS if you don't want to spend that extra money. This is also a 6'8" light. We're getting some more in some different sizes, so don't worry. We only have one of each right now currently in stock, but you can check them out if you're interested because these should be going pretty fast. What's super awesome about BFS stuff is, again, you can throw light lures, you can throw like crappie jig size lures really, really far that you can't normally do on a bait caster. All right, guys, so if you are interested in the X-Pride Curado BFS reel, anything that we have here, definitely check it out at lakeprotackle.com. We've got a pretty good selection of BFS style lures like the X Nana Hands. That's a great one, a great in-between lure that you can throw on a BFS setup. IXI shads, they do have an LBO system in it. You can throw them super far, but it's a really, really fun fight. On that, I highly suggest getting some high quality braids such as Seagar Smackdown or the J braid that has a very thin diameter on it. And also, if you do choose to go fluoro, I highly recommend either a 6 to 10 pound line. I wouldn't recommend really anything bigger than that. And make sure you're getting a high quality line, guys. Seagar Abrazex is a great one. We've got a couple other ones over there. We've got Tatsu. I don't recommend anything that has a real thick diameter. So if you do go like a Berkeley Trilene 10, its size is really more like a anything else's, 12 to 15. So definitely stick with your higher end fluorocarbons, higher end braids that you are very comfortable fishing. Put it up on here and have a great time. But I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. BFS is definitely coming. The swim bait stuff is still going, and that wave, I think, is going to be kind of battling each other. You're gonna have fish that will eat something tiny, tiny, and then you're also gonna have fish that eat something really, really big. And the people in the middle ground are gonna start to get left out, not catch as many fish as the guys that are specializing their gear towards exactly what those fish want. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, give us a subscribe, leave a like on the video, comment down below what your favorite BFS setup is currently, or some lures that we need to get in the shop if you're into BFS fishing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time at Lake Pro Tackle.